And I just had this conversation today of, sometimes a victim might feel like an observer to their life, based upon their trauma responses. They feel like they don't even have ownership of, their life or their experience. So I think really going through the trauma work and integrating what has happened as part of their experience and doing the processing of what has happened. And I think remembering that their trauma is something that has happened to them, but it doesn't need to define them. And so I think that there is hope and people are resilient. Kids are resilient. And I think by putting the work in and acknowledging what has happened, because I think that's something that stumbles a lot of people, is not even acknowledging the severity or how it has impacted them, doesn't help in the healing. So first acknowledging, this is something that has happened to me, this is where I am right now, and this is how it's affecting me, and then that facilitates that room for growth and healing. So definitely, people that have trauma history, no matter what the trauma is, can heal and can lead happy, healthy lives. Sure. We just live in a fast-paced world and we don't always check in with ourselves, even people that would be identified as the most healthy individuals. So I use this a lot with clients, of just some mindfulness techniques where we're actually just checking in and tuning in with our bodies. So sometimes when I'm with clients, and it's something that is very maybe sad or anger provoking, I'll just say, tune in with your body right now. What does your body feel like? And if they have trouble with that, I'll just go to the different body parts. Like, what does your face feel like? Or what does that feel like in your chest? Or, and bringing them into the here and now and into the moment, I think is really helpful. A lot of times with people that do have trauma histories, that's really overwhelming. So that's something you have to eventually get to, but that's where a lot of healing takes place, being able to tune into how you're feeling and what your needs are. That's something I like to ask people all the time. Like, what do you need right now? And people just look at me like, no one's asked me that. I'm not exactly sure. And so that's a big thing I like to ask kids too. You look like you're out of control right now. What do you need right now? And they might say, I don't know. And so that's where I step in and I do some modeling and boundary setting, and I help them so that eventually when they're feeling that way, they can ask themselves that and do it themselves. But even just using the 5 senses, I do that a lot with mindfulness techniques and some trauma work, especially with kids, even adults. But so I maybe, like in this room, I could say, tell me everything that you see that's blue. And so that brings them into the here and now, and they're telling me everything, and kids love that, even adults, seeing how many they get. Or I have them pick something out that they like and describe it to me visually. Or I do the taste, giving them maybe an M&M to put in their mouth, and just walking through that mindfulness of eating the M&M, or sound. I say, let's be really quiet and tell me everything that you hear, and make it kind of a game. Touch, smell, that's something that can be very calming, in addition to also just checking in with your body and how does your body feel right now. But it's just a skill that I feel like we need to teach our kids and even teenagers, and teach ourselves of how to tune in with ourselves and then meet our own needs. And sometimes we need support meeting our own needs, but eventually we want to be able to do it for ourselves.